Hi, Jason here. As some of you may know, I'm the product manager for keyboards and mice here at Corsair.
This week, April Fool's Day happened, and as you might be able to guess, a lot of foolish news had the opportunity to surface. To get started, here are our top 3 favorite gaming-related April Fool's Day jokes. The first is from Corsair. Corsair announced a gaming mouse. Specifically, well, take a look.
We all know that optical and laser sensors are great, but they lack that true connection with the mouse mat, that tactile mechanical feel that's very difficult to replicate. Until now, I'm proud to announce the brand new Corsair Gaming M63 RGB gaming mouse. The M is for mechanical. But I know what you're thinking. How are we going to make a mechanical gaming mouse? It's simple. The ball. The M63 RGB is the world's first RGB ball mouse built by Corsair. To create this incredibly new product, we had to start with your standard M65 RGB gaming mouse. We then had to carefully remove the sensor. And then we put a ball in it.
Well, that one was an obvious joke. However, something else happened too. The Humble Indie Ballyhoo bundle. It was a humble bundle that lasted for 24 hours, and it contained PDFs with instructions on how to play classic games.
7 games that pack the thrills and spills of modern amusement. Look at this. It's Ballin' Cup. Oof. Watch where you fling that ball there, Jimmy. Why, it's hoop trundling. This could be you running with your hoop and stick in tow. What's next? Take your turn at sticking it to the ball with stickball.
So while that was the Humble Bundle's idea of a joke, all the money did go to charity. Additionally, if you ever need to show an alien civilization how to play stickball, you might have wanted to have picked up that bundle. I mean, technically speaking, it has the lowest system requirements of any Humble Bundle ever. I have heard of some folks having issues with the frame rate in the Humble Ballyhoo bundle. They should be receiving a steady 1 frame per second after they print out the images. If you've been having a problem with this, I strongly recommend you replace the ink in your printer, as it's likely at fault. The last joke is possibly the most impressive, seeing as you can actually play it. It's called Super Quat. It's super hot, remade in the Quake 1 engine. As you might guess, it looks kind of old. In case you've not heard of Super Hot, all you need to know is that it's a shooter in which everything moves when you do. You can download Super Quat at superhotgame.com/superquat. Now back to totally serious, unfunny gaming news. That's completely 100% serious. There's a new Humble Indie Bundle out. It's the Humble Indie Bundle 14. It's very serious. It's so serious, in fact, that it contains a game called Super Splatters. It's that serious. It's so very serious that the wonderful narrator has come back to narrate the trailer for this Humble Bundle.
Unepic. It's the game that puts the epic back into unepic. Pixel piracy. This game will really hook you, putting the R in DRM free. Yar, me matey. Super Splatters. Get ready to splatter all over the place. Pay over the average price and go on an adventure with 3 more indie games. Torchlight 2. Other action RPGs can't hold a candle to this game. Outlast. It's all about that asylum. I haven't seen this much night vision since that Paris Hilton video. Ho ho! La Mulana. Wait, am I gonna have to dress up as a girl again? Making its Mac and Linux debut. Pay $10 or more and you'll also get Shadow Warrior Special Edition. As always, a customizable portion of each purchase will go to support the Child's Play charity and the Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Now, if you've been keeping up with Kickstarters, you might have heard of Isle. According to the developers, Isle is a 3D procedural action-adventure RPG, that's quite a mouthful, in which you go on a quest to rebuild the last world of light using your terraforming powers. In Isle, you go on different quests and collect shards of light, and then you can use these shards of light to either reinforce the shell that defends the world, or you can use it to craft powerful items of light. I'll be honest, the story in Isle kind of sounds like a rather original story told using some rather old cliches, but don't let that put you off. If the game comes out well, then hopefully those cliches will be put to good use, and be integrated well into the game itself. My main concern with Isle is that they might be targeting a few too many platforms. According to the press release I received, it's coming out on PC, Mac, Linux, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, and Wii U. Of course, it's not impossible to release a game on all those platforms, however, the fact that they're trying to do it with one Kickstarter seems a little bit lofty. This is definitely a project that we'll be keeping an eye on. Have you ever wished that a game was just made out of boss battles? Well, I have some good news for you. Titan Souls is coming out on April 14, 2015, and a demo for this game has just been released on Steam. Having played the demo, I have only good things to say about Titan Souls. I really like the aesthetic of the game, the color palette in Titan Souls is absolutely fantastic, and the gameplay is really good too. You see, in Titan Souls, it's all about the boss battles. There are no minions to grind, there's no experience points to gain. It reminds me a little bit of some of the older Legend of Zelda games, albeit even more simple. Titan Souls was originally developed for the Ludum Dare 28, and the original version of the game is available to play online for free at clawmark.itch.io/titan-souls. You can play the full game when it comes out for Mac, PC, Linux, PS4, and PS Vita. A gameplay trailer for SteamWorld Heist was unveiled this week. Now, SteamWorld Heist is a game that's coming to the 3DS, PC, Mac, Linux, PS4, PS Vita, Xbox One, Wii U, and mobile in fall of 2015. Yeah, that's a lot of platforms. It's coming from Image & Form, the same company behind SteamWorld Dig. Now, SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Heist are both set in the SteamWorld universe. However, SteamWorld Heist is a very different game. While SteamWorld Dig was more of a Metroidvania platformer mixed with digging and mining, kinda like Terraria, SteamWorld Heist is more like XCOM. While there is some platforming, it's more of a turn-based tactics/strategy game than a Metroidvania. We've got the full gameplay trailer up on blackmanandrobin.com right now for your viewing pleasure. While I've not yet had the opportunity to play SteamWorld Heist, I've heard some very good things about it. Also, if the quality of SteamWorld Dig is anything to go on, SteamWorld Heist is going to be absolutely fantastic. This week, a pair of trailers were released for Halo 5 Guardians. Now, Halo 5 Guardians is the next main game in the Halo series, and I confess I've not really kept up with Halo. The last Halo I played was Halo Reach. However, things seem to be going pretty interestingly for Master Chief. If by interesting you mean branded as a traitor.
Yes. As our savior, and not our betrayer. Let us see him forever as you. You've completed your mission, Spartan Locke. Mine is just beginning.
If you've ever wanted a fighting game that featured characters from different indie games, we've got good news. Paperbound has just been released on Steam and PS4. It's a cute little multiplayer fighter that boasts characters from other games including VVVVV, Monaco, and Guacamelee. Thus far, the game's reception has been positive, and personally, I'm a big fan of the aesthetic. It's kinda hard to describe, but it looks really good. While the game's original characters are simplistic, the backgrounds in the game are absolutely fantastic. A rather interesting game stumbled upon my radar this week. It's called Goo Goo. In Goo Goo, you control a ball. To be more specific, you control a ball that can jump. The ball stretches out, and the ball heads in whatever direction you sent it in. Apparently, there are several rooms in the game. It's kind of a Metroidvania, albeit a very stripped-down one. Also, it would be a sin to fail to mention the very interesting sound effects in Goo Goo. While I haven't asked, I think it's safe to assume that the game's sound effects are just a guy making funny noises into his microphone, and yet it works pretty well. There's something vaguely Dadaist about it. Visually speaking, the game is plain but pretty. Right now, the game is available on Android and PC. You can pay what you want for it on PC direct from the developer, or you can pay $1 and have it on Android either DRM-free or directly through the Google Play Store. A short character trailer has just been released for Technobabylon. Technobabylon is an upcoming cyberpunk thriller adventure game. It's being published by Wadjet Eye Games, and the story sounds pretty interesting. This trailer in particular focuses on Max Lau, one of the characters. Now, a preview build of Technobabylon has just landed in my inbox. I'm a wee bit swamped at the moment, but I'll get around to it and give my first impressions as soon as I can, so stick with Blackman and Robin for
I've lived in
that.
this city my entire life, and it's been good to me. But revelations about its origins are troubling.
You know, I have my reservations about cloud-based gaming services. The trouble with them, really, is that when you own a game on a cloud-based gaming service, or really on any digital distribution platform, you don't really own it. You're essentially leasing the right to stream the software. So when your computer's fans are spinning, know that they're only spinning for the internet. They're not actually running the game. The reason I bring this up is because after 5 years, OnLive is finally shutting down. Sony, you see, has acquired OnLive's cloud gaming platforms, and according to the message left on their website, OnLive says that Sony's plans don't include a continuation of the game service in its current form. Thus, your OnLive Play Pass games will no longer be available on OnLive after April 30th, 2015. Game save data and achievements will be deleted after April 30th, 2015, unless they were on CloudLift, in which case the data will remain on Steam. There will be no refunds, and according to OnLive, their hardware will not work with any other platforms. So if you were one of the suckers who bought an OnLive game system or an OnLive Universal Wireless Controller, sorry, that's it. OnLive is not providing any way to download the games that you lease through them. I never bought any games through OnLive because, to be honest, I knew that this day was coming. OnLive was the first of its kind, really. I anticipated that one day OnLive would shut down and that games purchased through it would be gone forever. This raises some very serious questions about the nature of digital distribution. Being dependent on any sort of external service means that you're dependent on that service continuing to exist. You know, my VHS tapes, they still exist, even though some of the companies that made them are now defunct. My DVDs, similarly, still exist. However, the movies I own digitally on Amazon, they might not be there tomorrow. I think it's very, very important that provisions be made for people to actually own the things that they purchase digitally. Both GOG and the Humble Indie Bundles have helped promote this. Much of the time, when you buy a game on Humble, besides being given a Steam key, you're also granted a DRM-free copy. GOG.com takes it one step further. Every game on their service is DRM-free. This means that you can download the game and put it wherever. So if something happens to GOG, your games will be safe so long as you downloaded them. Back to the topic of OnLive, however, unfortunately there's no word from Sony on if folks who bought games on OnLive will be able to play them on whatever Sony provides. Additionally, if you are one of the poor folks who actually went out and purchased an OnLive microconsole, there's very little information available about hacking your microconsole to work with anything else. Supposing you've gone out and purchased a powerful PC but still have this microconsole, unfortunately there's no way yet to stream games from your PC to this console. That said, if you do have your heart set on streaming games from a PC to a console in the house, you might want to take a look at Valve's Streamlink. It's a $50 machine that's coming out in November of 2015, and it streams games from your PC to your TV.
Show, we had 19 games. People were saying OnLive can't possibly work. People were saying that people aren't going to use it, it's not going to be adopted. So here we are, E3 2011.
Earlier in the week, Nintendo held a Nintendo Direct, in which they unveiled several things. While there wasn't any news on the freshly delayed Legend of Zelda, some announcements were made for games that we haven't heard anything of for a good long time. For instance, if you were excited for Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem, Nintendo unveiled, rather quietly, a new gameplay trailer for it. There were also several Smash Bros. Related announcements. Everybody's favorite psychic Pokemon, Mewtwo, will be coming to Smash Bros.
But wait, there's more!
For the upcoming Wii U game Yoshi's Woolly World, new amiibo were unveiled. These new amiibo are of Yoshi himself, and they're made of yarn instead of hard plastic. If you've been looking for extra huggable amiibo amigos, good news. They come in 3 different colors. There's also the news of the 200cc racing class that's coming to Mario Kart 8. Even faster than the 150cc, it'll be even more exciting when you get hit by a blue shell. That's not the end of the good news for Wii U owners, however. Nintendo 64 and Nintendo DS games are coming to the Virtual Console. Super Mario 64 is the first of the N64 games for Virtual Console, while Yoshi's Island DS is the first DS game. Later on, we can expect to see WarioWare Touched for the DS on April 9th, and Donkey Kong 64 out on April 16, 2015. Another one of the games we're looking forward to is Mario Maker. Now, Nintendo finally unveiled that Mario Maker is coming out September of this year. Mario Maker allows you to create your own Super Mario levels. If you've ever wanted to try your hand at making a Mario game, well, this game is your chance. Additionally, Nintendo announced that there would be activities related to the 30th anniversary of the Super Mario Bros. Original release planned throughout the year. This all bodes very well for Mario Maker. On the 3DS side of things, there were multiple announcements. For starters, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer is coming out, and it's a new game in the Animal Crossing series. As you might have guessed from the name, it's primarily focused on the decorating and interior design aspects of the Animal Crossing games. If you're a fan of the mega-popular anime/manga series Attack on Titan, also known as Shingeki no Kyojin, the game Attack on Titan Humanity in Chains is coming to the Nintendo 3DS sometime in May. Pokemon Rumble World, the latest game in the Pokemon Rumble series, was also announced. It's going to be free to download with in-app purchases, and it's essentially a game where you play as a toy Pokemon and run around beating up other toy Pokemon. Like Pokemon Shuffle that came before it, Pokemon Rumble World has me a little bit worried. I'm not a very big fan of what Nintendo has been doing with free-to-play games. I really hope, but also really doubt it, that this game is going to be 5 Commandments of free-to-play gaming friendly. A new trailer was released for Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. While Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is only available for the new Nintendo 3DS, that is the new model of the 3DS that Nintendo released earlier this year, if you own one, it's absolutely worth picking up. Also, I almost forgot to mention, Lucas from Earthbound is coming to Smash Bros. Surprise! Lucas and Mewtwo aren't the only characters who will be coming to Super Smash Bros. If you visit cp.nintendo.co.jp/US, that is cp.nintendo.co.jp/US, you can vote to have a character you love added to Super Smash Bros. Personally, I'm voting for the Red Mage from Final Fantasy III. The deadline for entry is October 3rd, 2015, so you've got your time. Frankly, I'm half expecting the Battletoads to make it into the game somehow. I don't know how, I just have a strong, sneaking suspicion that somebody will make that happen. If you're excited about Xenoblade Chronicles 3D and in need of even more RPG goodness, you'll be pleased to know that Fire Emblem is coming to the 3DS. Nintendo unveiled a little bit more interesting news about it during their April 1st Direct. Apparently, for the first time in the Fire Emblem series, the main character is not only a customizable avatar, but also the main protagonist of the game. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number for a free idea kit. Endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed or ability. Perfect for year-round health, fitness, and relaxation. Call our toll-free number or visit our website for your free Endless Pools idea kit.
Shallow Space, a game that caught my eye a while back, has just hit Indiegogo. Shallow Space is a 3D space RTS with some RPG elements, and it's coming to Mac, PC, and Linux. It sounds like a rather ambitious project. Their goal for the game ultimately is to not only have co-op and multiplayer, but also a storyline and skirmish scenarios. Their goal at current is to raise $85,000 US. The game has actually been in development for over a year. If you'd like to try out the alpha, it's available to download on their Indiegogo page. Now, if you own an iOS or an Android device, you might want to check out Duel. Duel is a pretty neat multiplayer game that requires a pair of devices. You see, you're in a sort of duel against a partner. For some reason, the look of the game reminds me of an old-timey arcadey shmup. While I've not yet had the opportunity to play it, I have heard very good things about it. Also, if the people in the trailer are any indication, the game definitely looks like a lot of fun. Do you love Batman? Do you really love Batman? Do you love Batman enough to purchase a PlayStation 4 themed around Batman? Because I have some good news for you. Sony has just announced a Batman Arkham Knight themed PlayStation 4. It's a limited edition and it comes out on June 23rd, 2015. It looks pretty cool and it also comes with a copy of the upcoming Batman Arkham Knight. Finally, I have some good news if you're looking for a fun, frustrating game. I'm giving away copies of Iron. Now, Iron is a game that you can get on Steam. It's a precision platformer, but it's kind of imperfect. You'll want to check out an article on blackmanandrobin.com, specifically Iron. Great concept with errant execution. Give the article a read and shoot us a tweet telling us about a frustrating game experience that you had. Thus far, we've gotten a tweet from a certain fellow named Dimifwa. I can't quite pronounce his name, but his Twitter handle is actually at DPAP87, who says that VVVVVV frustrated me the most so far. If you'd like to win a Steam key, well, you know what to do. Well, that's it for this week's game news. Be sure to follow at Blackman and Robin for all the latest reviews, previews, and interviews. And follow me at Jordan Cameron for my overviews.